Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Nick from bodybuilders.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing MuscleTech's Performance Series Amino Build Next Gen. So MuscleTech is owned by Iovate Health Sciences in Delaware, and they're a pretty big name in the supplement industry. They're very well known for their whey, and they're also pretty well known for having a very inexpensive line of supplements. And they have several different product lines. They've got the Pro Series, the Essential Series. This here is the Performance Series. And Amino Build Next Gen claims right here on the tub to build more muscle than regular BCAA supplements. So I'm going to see how it tastes with water. I'm going to try the fruit punch flavor. Alright, so this pretty much has the standard fruit punch flavor you get with our fruit punch flavored BCAAs, and by that I mean it tastes like cherry, like maraschino cherry and watermelon flavored Jolly Ranchers. It's good. It's pretty sour. I should also note that the serving size, the bottle kind of recommends that you take 2 scoops at once. So you definitely want to mix it with like at least 2 cups of water because it's a pretty strong taste, pretty sour. So let's take a look at the nutrition label. So one serving has 25 calories, which is pretty high for a BCAA supplement. And you get, in one serving, in one scoop, I should say, you get 4 grams of BCAAs. It's a little bit low, most offer 5, but this kind of recommends that you take 2 scoops at once. And so the BCAAs have a good 2-to-1-to-1 ratio of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which is pretty standard in the industry. Aside of that, there are a lot of extras. There's quite a bit of electrolytes. There's a good amount of sodium and potassium. There's also an electrolyte blend. So that's sodium chloride, coconut water, which is in no case also potassium, then dipotassium phosphate, and watermelon juice, which also has a good amount of potassium and a bit of magnesium in it as well. That said, you're probably not going to break like more than 2% of your recommended daily intake of these minerals, but nonetheless, it could be good around a workout. After that, you've got a cell volumizing and recovery complex. So with that, you get taurine, L-glutamine, and L-alanine. Those ingredients put together, there's some research that suggests that they might improve endurance, and maybe heart health and circulatory health and things like that. And finally, there's betaine anhydrous. You get 1.25 grams of that in a scoop. So that's sourced from beets. It's also present in spinach and some leafy greens. The research is a bit split, but there's a decent amount of evidence that suggests it may improve power output and endurance. And so they're really kind of leaning on that in this supplement as what makes it very special. After that, there's just the other ingredients. So you get malic acid, that's for flavoring, natural and artificial flavors, and citric acid, also for flavoring. Silicon dioxide, that's an anti-caking agent. You get sucralose, that's an artificial sweetener, it's also called Splenda. Calcium silicate, also anti-caking agent. And then finally, acid sulfate potassium, which is another artificial sweetener. And it's also red food dye number 40. So as far as price goes, this little tub here will give you 30 servings, and it costs about $25. So that winds up at about 83 cents per serving. And as far as per gram of BCAAs, it's about 21 cents, a little bit less than 21 cents per gram of BCAA, because it's only 4 per serving. It's actually very high. Although MuscleTech's pretty well known for being relatively inexpensive, this is, I mean, most BCAA supplements, like their competitors, are like more like between 10 and 11 cents per gram of BCAA. So this is almost 21 cents, so it is on the higher end. So what I liked about Amino Build Next Gen, I liked that it does have a good 2-to-1-to-1 ratio of BCAAs. That's what most people want from a BCAA supplement. It also has the extra ingredients that there's a lot of pretty promising research behind them. Not all of them, but I'm always happy to see a supplement that has some taurine in it, some alanine, some betaine anhydrous, and some electrolytes. So there's a decent amount of, like, nothing's 100% decided. There's a pretty decent amount of research that suggests that these extra ingredients may improve your workout. What I didn't like quite so much about Amino Build Next Gen is that, I mean, it's a pretty small serving size. It's just 4 grams of BCAAs per serving. It contains acid sulfate, potassium, and sucralose, which are 2 artificial sweeteners that some people link to negative health effects, and some people might want to steer clear of. It also contains glutamine, which in my opinion is not a very effective supplement for building muscle. When you take it as a supplement, most of it's stored in the gut and doesn't make its way to the muscles. And finally, it's a pretty strong taste. It's pretty sour. I didn't find it very enjoyable. All right, those are my thoughts on MuscleTech's Performance Series Amino Build Next Gen. For the full review, you can check the link below at bodybuilders.com.